talk show for the Ladies Enrichment Club. Today we have Yasmin as our guest and she will introduce herself. Hi Yasmin, how are you?
I'm very good. How are you, Zelda?
I'm very good, thank you. So tell us a little bit more about yourself.
All right. So, as you mentioned, my name is Yasmin. I've been living in the UAE for 13 years now, born and bred in Egypt. And I have two children who go to school now. So I do have the time to actually talk with you guys. And that's about it. My background is I majored in political science 20 years ago. And I worked for NGOs as a consultant. And I decided to open my own business, and last year I decided to write a children's book. So great diversity with a great journey.
Oh, that's great. So you've learned a lot along your way, along your working with this in this field, and then you got inspired to leave. Why did you get inspired to leave?
It's not about leaving, it's about evolving and changing. So for me, everybody goes through a journey. So you evolve and you change and you feel like, what, I'm more attracted to this. I feel like, I want to explore this. So it's actually part of evolving and stepping out of your comfort zone and doing something. So if you're asking what inspired me to write the book, it was mainly my children, because what we used to do is we used to plan acts of kindness, and we used to go down and buy a bag of apples and give it to laborers on the street. So we used to do all those small little things, and I made sure that every time they get in the car, I would say, what was the best part about your day? What was the worst part about your day? What was your act of kindness? And sometimes they were like, I smiled, I opened the door, and they would say it every single day. And I said, okay, guys, there are so many other things that we can do. So let me show you. Let's go down and do it. Let's save that cat. Let's save that pigeon. So things like that. So I discovered that, it's not about, doing the systematic normal stuff, but it's also opening their awareness that there are other, the plant might need help. The pigeon who has, broken neck might need help. It's not only about also human beings. So what inspired me to write that book is that, one of those nights I was just filing down and writing down the stuff that we usually do, the experiments with the water, the experiment with the rice, and I thought, what, it makes a good story. Why don't I write it? And again, it was me getting out of my comfort zone, because when I was young, I was more or less, I'm not going to say bullied as like hardcore bully, but I would say I was teased for my accent, my Egyptian English accent. And for me, getting out of my comfort zone to actually write a book in English, that was a huge step for me. And when I sent it off to the two publishers, and they both said yes, and I'm like, oh my God, this is obviously, it's a nice story, it's well written. So it was, but I have to tell you, I got an editor to help me out. So I wrote it, and I got someone to look at it and say, okay, the story makes sense, but what about if you write more details? If they get in the car, what are they seeing in the car, and things like that. So she was kind of my mentor for just, one email with the condensed summary. But I was very, very grateful to her again, because she showed me another way. So I think when a human being has an intention and he seeks to do something, God just puts, the rest of the puzzle in place and tells you, okay, you want to do this, then, here are the doors. So it was, that's what inspired me to write it. And it was honestly, it was one of the best experiences in my life, because, it's all in our head, thinking, oh, I can't do it. Oh, everybody's writing a book, but, I don't think I can do it. But writing a book, having it physically in front of you, it's still surreal. So it's absolutely amazing.
That's amazing. It's like you are creating something and you see it in front of you. That is a lovely inspiration, and to know that you have been writing the book because you are sharing the story with your kids as well, with your two lovely daughters. So the next question for you is, what is your future plan? What's your goal, short term or long term?
All right. So, it's like anything else in the world. I wanted to plant seeds of kindness everywhere. So, with the rise of bullying, and I'm not saying bullying as in someone, it doesn't have to be, it could be verbal bullying, it could be just being insensitive. So for me, when I was writing that story, it was mainly to spread the awareness and the kindness everywhere. So it was planting the seed, you know, knowing, for example, a part of one of the chapters talks about plants, and that plants, you know, and water. So water does, you know, the latest science says that water does actually capture emotions from the energy around it. So we tried it out at home. We got 3 jars of rice and we filled them up with water. And this is called a Dr. Masaru Emoto experiment. And we started speaking to the first jar so nicely. We labeled it with love every morning for 8 weeks, saying, "We love you, you're amazing." And then we put one in the middle, which we didn't actually touch or talk to. And then the third one, which we start saying, you know, "You're ugly," or, you know, "You're unworthy," and this and that. And it was actually very, and you know, while we were doing this for 8 weeks every morning, me and the girls were saying that when it comes to the turn of actually saying the bad words, we felt it. It was that sensation of, like, you know, anger, and there was some kind of flush in there. And then after 8 weeks, we made a video showing the three jars. The one that was no one was talking to, the one that was ignored, had like a black hole, you know, black thing in the middle. The one that we said love words to was fermented a little bit. It turned a little bit yellow, but the one that we were, you know, bashing with bad words, it just turned into a disaster, you know, mold and yellow. And it was for the girls to see that. They're like, "Oh my God," you know. And I was explaining to them that our bodies are made out of 75% to 80% water. Imagine speaking unkindly to someone or saying something that, you know, would hurt their feelings. It stays with them, it stays in the body. So even scientifically, it's proven that, you know, bad words and good words, they have different functions in your body. You know, the oxytocin, how it goes in your body and opens up your arteries. And so there's a lot of science behind it too. To simplify it, I was targeting the kids by actually showing them, you know, that those different small experiments through the story, the kids watching a documentary about water, and, "Oh my God, we have to be nice to the plants next time." And I believe some of the schools did that experiment, or IKEA did that in one of the schools. You know, they got 2 plants and they asked the kids to do the same. And the one that was, you know, again, badly bashed died instantly, but the other one survived for weeks. So it is there, but it's not the science that is written in our textbooks. So, and this is what I wanted to give the girls, you know, the girls and the children of the world, not only my girls, but just, you know, planting the seeds, you know, finding out why they feel the way they feel, how they behave, how they speak to themselves, which is more important than anything else. You know, speaking kindly to yourself, then you'll be able to speak kindly to everyone around you. But first, it comes from inside. So that's my target.
Okay, so Yasmin, that's a lovely story, and I agree with you that kind words mean so much to everyone, big or small, nature. Everyone needs kindness. And I love your book. Yasmin was so sweet. She gave my girl a book, and Zoe fell in love with the book. It's an amazing book, full of love and kindness, and really, really nicely illustrated as well. I like the size of the book. You know, for younger kids, that is a really nice size, and the story is amazing. So, can you show us your book, Yasmin? Can you just hold it up?
Absolutely, absolutely, it'd be an honor. So this is the cover. I wanted to make sure that it's nature connected, because again, we all, you know, we're all connected somehow. And I chose diversified characters because I wanted each child who actually opens the book to feel that they relate. So I chose different ethnic groups in the book. So for example, so this is, it's a story about the grandfather here and his grandchildren. And again, like you see, different faces, different ethnic groups, and that was the whole idea. And again, I had to make sure that there's a lot of nature elements, because again, we have to get grounded. I wanted to teach the kids about meditation and understanding their emotions. So that was part of the, you know, part of the purpose. And again, them on the street, helping a stranger, who again, at the beginning, they actually were reluctant to help out. And after that, they, you know, they
That's
got
lovely.
again. Yeah, so it's about lessons. So there's 7 chapters in here. And And yeah, and every chapter discusses a story which revolves usually around one of the characters. And yes, so that's it's very
That's
exciting.
amazing.
Like that.
Yasmin, I want
Yeah,
to
thank
congratulate you on your first book. And
you.
what, in very short words, how can you motivate ladies, women out there that wants to write a book? Because I'm one of them, and I always wanted to write a book. I actually
Yeah,
have it on my computer, like
love
half
it.
of it, and never got to finish it. But
Yeah.
if I get the time someday, I'll finish it. But what
Yeah.
motivation can you give to women out there to just start
Yeah.
writing? And how should they start? In 1 minute, what can you say?
So I think it's finding the passion. So when I was writing that book, there was so much passion going in there because I love doing that stuff, and especially with the kids. So part of it was the passion of, wanting to get your message out there. So it's knowing that, my message will make an impact, a difference on 1 to 5 to 10 to a small group of people to actually a lot more. So knowing that deep in your heart, everything will flow out from you. So that's my, knowing that you yourself believe in your own message, and you have that little, tingle inside, then everything will flow after that. And then you'll do your research, you do, you'll find out where you want to publish it, how you want to do it. And visualizing is very important too. I remember when I submitted it to the publishers, I closed my eyes, I meditated, and I started visualizing everywhere, and I could tell there was a tree on the cover. So it's just creating and believing in yourself. That's the biggest push ever.
And it's all about, you set your goal. This is what I want. And
Yeah.
having a few short-term goals, and then once you reach that, maybe you can do a long-term goal for writing a a next book, or a book for adults. What do you think? Are you going to write a
um,
book for
you
adults?
know you know what? I was actually thinking, but I was thinking of writing in an Arabic initially, and then going, because that's my native language, and again, I'm proud of it, and I wanted to write one about gratitude, because it was I read a lot of Arabic books, a lot of Arabic novel books, and that's my one of my passions as well. But I wanted to do that for my country, to be honest with you, to start with an Arabic, and then for the children, I am intending to do like small series of books. But like I said, I care more about the impact. So for me, with Blossoming Kindness, I initiated, for example, a school program, like small activities that the kids could do, to be aware of their emotions, be able to, give back to the community and all of that. So for me,
Lovely.
I'm all about, yeah, so small series of shorter books, potentially.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I'm so happy that we had this talk with you, because you inspired me as well, honestly. And
Really great.
Yasmin, I would like to know, do you sell online, and where can, if somebody wants to buy your book, is it ebook? Can you send it to them? How do you go about?
All right, so I have a website called www.blossomingkindness.com. And if you go there and press on the book, there are the links down below, which is the Amazon, the Barnes and Noble, Amazon AE, Canada, India. So the publishers were kind enough to actually distribute it worldwide. We have it in Walmart, Target. So when you press on the logos, it takes you directly to the link, and you can buy it from there. And there's a few Arabic websites as well, and soon enough we'll have it on the website actually selling. And yeah, this is how they can get a hold. And then the social media handles as well are available on the website, and you can get an idea and a feel of what the book is about from there.
Oh, that's good. It's like a preview. Yes.
Exactly. Yes.
So
Yes.
we will mention all your details on this video. And thank you so much, Yasmin, for taking the time to talk with us and share your book. Please, ladies, support Yasmin out there. Buy her book and share it with friends, and subscribe to this channel to get a little bit more information about future interviews as well. And thank you, Yasmin. Have a lovely
Thank you.
day.
Feel honored. Thank you.